All right. I don't know what happened, but anyways, first up, welcome Shea Couleé. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Roscoe?
What's going on? You've had a busy time lately. You are now one of the faces of Lush.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh my God, I'm just really excited about all the bath bombs that I get to get now. It's amazing.
Girl, me and you both, I love a good bath bomb, bitch. Ain't nothing like getting home from the gig,
right?
Taking your duct tape off and just getting into that bath. Do you do those too?
Oh, I love them.
Oh, you do?
How many do you do at a time? Do you just do one or do you do two?
They try and be like, you should only do one.
Well, she's
but
sponsored.
two is really
like two
hot.
or three.
Two's hot. Yeah.
She's sponsored, so she probably puts the whole box, you know.
I do.
Those of us that, you know, aren't as fortunate, we have to be a little more frugal.
Yeah, girl, I just dumped the whole
She's got them in backlog in her storage unit. So, Gia, do you want to get right into it?
Well, I really don't have much to say other than, are you guys entertained or are you entertained?
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to Drag Race, I know that people take this shit so fucking seriously, like their life depends on it. But you know what? At the end of the day, I was there having a good time, playing up my TV character, my personality, which is shady, cutthroat, and to the point.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, bitch, I'm from Chicago, and we tell it like how it is. And I just don't think Drag Race is a place to go in there and be all kumbaya and all this bullshit. Girl, if it was all that, y'all wouldn't be really liking the show, would you? I mean, drag is about being, you know, a little catty, glamorous, and, well, shady. Am I wrong?
I shade people with my talent.
Well, if I had some of that, I would. Well, I tried that on episode 1, and y'all saw what happened to me. So
that was shady.
Okay,
I thought you should have been in the top of that for real. That performance made me feel things.
You got a great response here.
I like literally came when you shot those streamers out. I was like, oh.
Ooh, well, get ready to come again tonight, Miss.
Oh.
No, you know, I will be honest. When she called my name and the rest of the girls, I just knew we were on the top.
Yeah.
You know, from what I saw, I thought we all did a really good job. And then she said, safe. And I said, okay, there's a gook in the page, girl.
Yeah.
The page is rigged. And I just knew, okay, if I couldn't make it on top from this talent portion, chances are I was never going to. And chances are, you know, chances are. So, yeah. I was just there having a good time, honestly.
Who did you think was the top two?
I honestly thought it was going to be me and Latrice.
Yeah.
Or maybe me and Valentina, because RuPaul loves Valentina.
She does.
I mean,
that's
no dark secret.
I saw a meme that was popping up more recently, and it was showing how when they showed you and you were smiling, that behind you Manila Luzon was wearing a different outfit than she was in the other shots. What are your thoughts on that editing? And do you think that the editing so far is accurate?
I just want to hear from the audience. Please raise your hand if you guys really believe that everything that happens on this show is in the sequential, truthful order that it actually happened. Yeah, you guys know better.
Yeah.
So, that's my answer. You know, it's a television show. World of Wonder knows what the fuck they're doing when it comes to making people laugh and gag and stunts and shows. And so, you know, that's why I really don't take this shit that seriously, even though I should, because it pays my bills. But, you know, when it comes to drag, you know, I think for me, a lot of the times we kind of forget that it's about fun and it's liberating and it's an art form. And, girl, it's really not that fucking serious. So, bitch, you know, for me, it's like, I don't need to go there and mince my words. But, I mean, you know, World of Wonder does what they do with the film. And, you know, if you're not up for, you know, the edit game, then you probably shouldn't sign up and, you know, sign on the dotted line. And I did. So, there you have it.
I think that's a very fair,
All of a sudden, you know, girls are in different outfits and girls are turning heads at different times. And, you know, and when you're there filming, and I think, Shea, you can, you know, side with me, is that, you know, there's so much happening, you know, there's so much going on when you're filming that it's really just hard to even remember what you said and what you did. And, you know, mind you, we filmed this earlier in the year, so.
Oh, yeah, girl. There's so much time that passes, and you're like, what did I do or say?
I feel
Exactly.
like the girls always say here, there's some things they're like, I don't even remember saying that, and it's like a huge deal. And then there's other things they're super worried about, and it's like, oh yeah, they just
Never sees the light of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be honest though, at the time, okay, we'll save it
Here
for
we
the
go.
next,
Yeah, save it,
the
save
next
it.
break.
And we're back.
Yes, I'm definitely going to be doing a lip sync to that fight in the future.
Somebody was really relaxing over the summer.
So how do you feel watching that back?
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, girl, realistically, if you're not there to stir the pot and fucking create drama and get into girls' heads, it's a competition. I'm not really here to be your best friend. And if you wanted to be my best friend, then you should have called me back. Yes or no? So it's not my fault that I walk in the workroom before you and then in comes stomping you, and then there I am just gagged, you know? Because the truth is, long story short, you know, me and Farrah's relationship has been up and down. I don't think that is anything to keep in the dark, but I love her. I think that she is talented. I do think that she has a lot of potential, but I do think she's young. I do think she is overly sensitive, and I think she lets things really get to her more than she should. And so, bitch, it's a competition. Bullying. Is that what it's called? I call it good TV. I call it good TV. At the end of the day, we're all casted for a role. I was casted to be the shady one. There you go.
Do you want to expand on the story at all, or will we find that out later of like what originally happened, or we don't know?
I mean, yeah, you know, I think me and Farrah were friends, and then, you know, some other troll got in between us because me and this troll fell out, which is very unfortunate. Another fellow trans sister in the community who shall remain nameless because she doesn't need any more exposure than she already doesn't have. And so, you know, she tried one night, the both of them, you know, teamed up and they had a few cocktails. I was working over at the Abbey in West Hollywood, just, you know, feeling my hosting gigs. I was getting paid. You guys know how it is when you're at a gig. You're there getting paid. And in comes stomping these two. And Farrah comes up to me and she goes, you know, I really think that, you know, you guys really need to talk about your differences. You know, you guys have so much in common. But I said, why? Because we're trans? You think that we're friends? I said, if baby girl wanted to talk to me and really wanted to be my friend, she'd be talking to me, not standing behind you right now, just looking like a little doll. And so they got irritated. And I said, if you want to talk about this, girl, call me, inbox me, and we could talk about this at lunch like grown-ass women. But don't come to my job trying to start shit. And that really ticked both of them off. And Farrah felt like I was being inappropriate or something or whatever. And I was just telling it like it was. I don't like to handle my personal business at the nightclub, right? Because my job exists in the nightlife. So why should we be talking about personal issues? You know, there's a time and a place for everything. And for me, that was not the place or the time.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's do a shot.
Can we get a shot? I know. We gotta.
Can I get some Patron, please?
I mean, at the end of the day, though, I mean, we just spent a whole week together doing press and stuff. And, you know, I have no animosity towards her.
Yeah,
Again,
the last I had talked to her, she said you guys had a good time in Israel and buried the hatchet. You guys
We
like
did.
talked it out.
Okay,
so,
We
good.
did, you know, because apparently, you know, she did feel bullied by me, and she did feel like I was really, you know, not being a good person to her. And, you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but Drag Race does a lot to you mentally after the fact, yeah?
Oh,
it
it
really
does.
can fuck you up and, you know, do some really not so nice things to your mind and to your spiritual side. So me and her had a long
agree.
2-hour talk
No.
on the beach.
It's why
I
I'm
literally
so,
just started
it's why
going to
I'm so
therapy
mentally
like
stable.
2 months ago just because that show really does fuck you up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm
and
in a good place.
People
Like,
don't.
hell yeah.
People don't realize, I think,
It's really
how
tough.
much, you know, mental instability or stability goes into, you know, the post life after being on Drag Race.
Girl.
And it's so much easier said
Preach.
than done. Oh, well, girl,
Yes.
why'd you do it? Well, we did it because we're making a difference.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was good. How good does fucking Sierra and Casey Musgraves look?
Oh, my
Damn.
God. I was
Oh.
fangirling over
Casey
Miss
came
Sierra.
in with a full dress. Sierra, yes.
Well, I
both
didn't
of
know
them
who
just
Miss
like-
Casey was.
Oh, I don't
But
know who she is either, but
you
she's
know-
totally came in a look. And
No,
I'm
she
here
did.
for it.
She's like the country Carly Rae Jepsen, kind of. Maybe.
Oh, you know what? I have seen one of her music
Yeah,
videos. Okay,
yeah.
okay,
The
yeah.
song is
sorry.
High Horse. It's cute.
Yeah.
Did you do your shot?
Yes. Oh, I did do that.
Oh, okay,
shot.
well.
Well, I was so parched.
So let's go right to the chase. Who do we think is going to win the challenge?
Some of my favorites
What
were.
team?
I liked your team.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? Oh.
I did. You guys had so much
What about you,
joy.
Tranica?
Same.
Yeah?
I thought Monet really stood out. I thought Naomi stood out. I thought Latrice stood out. I thought, what did I write down?
Valentina.
Valentina. Oh my
that
God.
Selena ass looking
Girl.
ass fucking.
I
Oh
live.
shit! That one little fucking baby girl,
Girl.
bitch.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
She was
That
representing
good.
the Latin community. And one thing I love about Valentina is that she knows where she comes from. She knows her roots and she embraces her culture. And
Yeah.
I love
Absolutely.
that. She's so talented, too.
Also, one thing that I really am enjoying about watching Valentina on All Stars is like I really like seeing her like let loose and have fun. Like she didn't really show us that side on season 9. She was very like professional, but like seeing because like we would see her get goofy, but she would never be that way on camera. And seeing her have fun this season is like so nice. I'm really enjoying
She's
watching her.
fully loopy now, and
yes,
I'm loving
that's
it.
the girl that she is.
Yeah,
you know.
she's fucking crazy. I'm living.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I like about her is that she's really shown a lot of growth. You know, I think
Absolutely.
after Drag Race, a lot of us kind of, have our heads in the clouds. You have to remember, our life literally changes overnight. So it can be very overwhelming when you encounter fame at a very young age and et cetera, et cetera. And I think she learned early on, you know what? I can't act like that and watch this. And she really turned it around.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah. Do
I
you-
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
She's
She's in Rent now, girl. She's
Girl.
a
Okay.
serious actress. She can't be
can't
acting
even
a
be.
fool.
She's probably not even watching the episode, honey.
She's busy.
Shay. Who's your top 3 for All Stars?
I would say that the ones that stood out to me were Valentina, Monet, and Latrice. Like the just like the characterization was like so fully like realized.
Yeah.
Like I loved it.
Yeah. Also, this season, we have girls who fully know what they are going into reality TV, going to the
yeah.
challenges. I mean, we are going to see a sponge and a cow on every episode. That's
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
They're on brand.
they know exactly what the fuck they're doing.
on brand.
They're well trained.
I mean, I could do without the sponge crown if I'm
Yeah.
being like 100%
well,
honest.
she's soaking up the sweat off her forehead.
As long as it's got a use, bitch, then I'm for it.
You know,
I'm a sweaty
functional
bitch too.
props.
I get
We
that
like
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Fully functional.
Gia, when you walked into the workroom, who were you the most excited to see, the most like nervous? You're like, oh shit, she's gonna fucking bring it.
Well, I did not know who Monique and Monet were because I didn't watch their season. So I
Okay.
was like, oh, we have newcomers. But I really love to see Trinity the Tuck.
Yeah.
Me and her, had worked together previously. She's really lovely. She loves drag. I really look up to her. She's grown so much. And also Naomi, just because she's a sweetheart. And we've really been able to connect and share some personal time. What about them looks, though?
That was one of the best runways
Those
ever.
are some looks.
Bitch, I was gagged. You know what I love about All Stars? The budget. Because bitches got money.
Okay.
Bitches be coming down with the Swarovskis and the Preciosa stones. Just like, like, I live. You're like, these hoes got money
Wow.
now.
I didn't, but when you
who-
spend all your savings to go to All Stars, it's a little depressing afterwards.
No, I know how that be.
But it's the name of the game. Drag
Yeah.
is so expensive, so tip your queens.
But, yes.
Who were some of y'all's favorite looks from the runway? Latrice. I have Latrice. and
Manila looked sickening.
You looked fucking amazing.
Thank you.
Everyone looked
Thank you.
great. Everyone looked great. Were there any that you were particularly featuring or not featuring?
I mean, I think Farrah's and Monet's were a little lackluster for me. It's an evening gown challenge. Also, if I'm not mistaken, her season, I think she also went home in something very similar. So, I think it's All Stars. I think you got to bring your best drag.
Yeah.
You got to show us, not only tell us why you're an All Star.
Yeah.
And honey, let me tell you, Farrah had clothes. She had clothes. I mean, her closet was gorgeous. That girl spent so much money to go and really put into a lot of thought. And I'm just like, that's what you picked? You know, you got to do every runway like it's your last one. Because it might just be. And so I even struggled, too. I really wanted to wear something different. But I listened to fucking Trinity, who was like, no, girl, this is drag. You got to put that on and put on the earring and put the bracelet and just put it all on. And I'm like, but I'm just trying to give, like, you know, simple woman tees. You know, kind of like Valentina did. What do we think about Valentina's look?
Ow. Ow.
I mean, I think if any of us other queens came down in something like that, I loved it, but I think we would have gotten red.
Yeah, but it totally worked for her.
It did work for her. And
I'm still just like dreaming about Manila's look. I'm gonna be like,
yeah, she looks stunning.
I'm gonna be in my sleep tonight, just like, damn.
She looks stunning.
I think that is the best that I've ever seen her look. It was
right,
truly
because she normally does like a camp twist.
Yes.
So to see Manila come out like full glam, I literally I was like, who is that? Like,
no, her looks and Trinity's and Naomi's this season, watch out, because they are coming for the girls.
Boom.
Sorry, go ahead. No. I was going to say, but behind the scenes, because you said you almost wore something different, was there anything that was like changed last minute? Because we don't get to see that chaos as it's happening.
Mine was definitely changed last minute. I was going to wear something else, but you know, you get really insecure too. You start looking around, you're like, ooh, she has on red. Oh wait, she's got stones. Oh wait, she's got cutouts. So, you know, it's like you really do have this luxury of changing your mind right before the runway. Who else? I don't really think everybody else was. Let me tell you something. This season, I feel the girls went in very calculated, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The girls were very focused. The girls were not trying to throw shade because they were very worried about what the fans would say afterwards. I apparently didn't give a fuck. But, you know, the girls really, I mean, they had sketches, they had plans, they had, you know, everything planned out. So the girls did a great job.
Yeah. Fuck yes. We're joined by a special guest over here, Detox.
Wow.
Say hi, asshole.
I didn't wear underwear tonight for a reason.
Oh.
Just for you.
I wasn't going to, but then they said my ass crack was out. So I said, okay, well, here goes on the nude panty. Who wants to see a panty line, right? Panty lines are fucking disgusting.
Oh my God, but speaking of panties, your tucking panties that you sell, I've heard amazing
You better go
things
shop
about them.
Gia Gunn, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot of you motherfuckers out there tucking, let me tell you. And these bitches, how do they work, Shea?
Girl, they get that junk tight and right. I saw the wonders that they did for Aja. That bitch has got some big nuts, you guys.
And you heard Miss Naomi, too.
Yeah.
And she had it on in the challenge, so
welcome,
shop
all
Gia
stars.
Gunn.
Now,
My name is Gia Gunn, and I have something to say.
Woo! Can I get another shot of Patron?
Is it getting heated for you, honey?
Oh my God, can I talk to you first?
What do you guys think that I'm going to say? Because I don't even know what I'm going to say. I could say a number of things to her at this point. Well, I think she's telling that to herself. But,
I mean, you're seeing her being super vulnerable, so I'm sure.
Yeah. You know what? Let me tell you guys something. For those of you that know me personally, you know, I'm truly not a bitch. I just, sometimes when it comes to drag, let me tell you something about me and drag. I actually really struggle with going to All Stars and have actually really contemplated quitting drag because for me personally, in my personal life, drag brings a lot of negativity out of me for some reason. It could be with the conflict of me and, you know, my transition and struggling, trying to differentiate the two between, you know, my gender being a woman and then being on stage and participating in drag that, you know, is different than, you know, embodying a woman. And so when I got the call, I really honestly did it to bring visibility to the trans community and hopefully open more doors for future trans men and women to be on this show. And, you know, I can honestly say that, you know, I didn't really do this for me. And so I think some days, it's not that I regret going on the show, But I do know that when I do get put into these settings, it brings out a side of me that I don't really like because I feel very defensive. And I feel that my only way to exist is by, sure, causing attention, being shady, you know, creating good TV. Because that's what I think Drag Race is more about now than it is actually drag.
It's a show based on entertainment.
Hey.
Yeah.
And baby, I signed up to entertain. So.
Shay?
Because we all know we're going to be reblogging it anyway.
Cheers.
We're all going to be sharing it on Twitter in just like 2 hours.
Twitter.
Yes. Cheers.
All right. Well, raise your glasses, guys. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
In a little bit, we're going to do a Q&A, so start thinking of your questions. Don't worry, I'll get to you.
Ooh, how many questions?
Only about 6 hours worth.
Wow, I only have 2 answers.
Absolutely.
And are you feeling your oats? No, but yeah, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but originally I actually am from Chicago.
Yes.
Also,
you know, she is the 2014 winner
probably.
go sorry.
No, go ahead.
Of Roscoe's Drag Race.
And Miss Roscoe's All-Stars as well. So you could probably find the performance on YouTube somewhere. But, you know, Chicago's where I got my start. So thank you guys.
Yes. All right. What did you guys think of the episode?
Everybody, give it up for Pheromone. She really, really, really wanted to be there. And she did deserve to be there. So even though she doesn't love me, I love her.
Shay, what do you think?
That was a good-ass motherfucking episode.
That was a good-ass episode. All right.
Good looks.
Now we're going to let you guys know who's going to be with us next week. DJ, hit it. Next week, we have special guest, Pheromone. And Tatsi fucking Anna.
Yeah.
Hold on to your tequila, folks.
Mama, we going to be drunk.
You better order.
Yeah,
and your
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
And your girlfriends.
All right, well, we're going to open it up to a Q&A. I actually have some presents from VH1. We got a budget now. Also, I want to give a shout out. Jade from season 1 is here.
Yes.
All right, so if you guys have questions, I'm going to run around to you and take something quickly out of this bag. I'm not waiting around. All right, who has a question? You were very drunk. Oh, here. Okay, hi. What's your question?
Dear God, how does Gia wear those beautiful high-heeled shoes? Literally.
All right. How do you wear shoes?
The question is, how do you not? How do you not? I mean, I'm really not walking or I'm talking. I am not really walking or dancing right now, so I'm cool. But I did have these on in the challenge. They were a challenge, but you know how to get around it. Yeah, put your flats on in between
shit.
And, you know, all that.
Ooh.
I'll show you some other time. I'm going to do a YouTube video, how to walk in heels for cis women.
Holographic tote bag.
Hello. Hi, what's your... Oh, sorry.
Oh, here, let me take it out of the package.
Oh, yeah, we got to get that
Let me do an unbagging.
All right, tell us about your anticipation.
Oh my God, this is so great. VH1, thank you so much.
Yeah, VH1 wants
It actually kind of goes with this outfit. I'll put tacos in it later. I got both of y'all's logos in there. Hire me.
All right, hi, what's your question?
Hi, Gia, it's Jo.
Oh my God, hi.
So, when you were young, how did it feel when you dressed in a female costume and danced as a female for the first time?
Oh my God, everybody. Joan was actually there in my dance group when I was literally 5 years old doing Japanese classical dance. So she's actually known me my whole entire life, and I'm so glad to see her here.
Yes.
You know, when I was younger, I don't know if you guys know this, but I studied Nihonbuyo, which is the dance form found in Kabuki theater, where traditionally men do play the roles of men and women. When I was young, you know, I honestly didn't know what being transgender was or what drag even was, you know, because I wasn't exposed to LGBTQ life. And so this was a naturally born talent that I was born with. And I think I gravitated towards the dance simply because I was able to express myself as a woman and have people see me, you know, in women's clothing. And it was kind of a outlet for me to express my gender, not knowing that 20 something years later, she would be fully embodying. But, you know, it did a lot for me and a lot for my creative process. And it's actually taken me a really long time to be able to, you know, accept that this is who I am, you know, being a Japanese American Spanish speaking queen. You know, it's kind of hard to own when so many people are like, you're culturally inappropriate, you're this, you're that, you're this. And so, you know, now I think you guys can see I kind of have incorporated my roots still with mainstream drag culture. So, hi.
Joan, was she a shady child as well?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I didn't even talk, okay? I was very obedient.
Very
shy.
Aww.
Probably because I was upset that my parents had me in fucking boys' clothes. But, you know, here I am, and I'm so happy that I've made it to this point. I'm so happy that you guys have been able to support me and be here today. So thank you.
Yes.
Bingo.
And shout out to Joan. All right. Hi, what's your question?
Hey. Hi, Gia. Hi, Shea.
Hey.
So my question is, Gia, why are you sleeping on YouTube? You know what I'm saying?
Because YouTube is not paying me. And, you know, let me tell you guys something. I spent $16,000 on a music video, okay, that I did that has under 1 million likes right now. And so I really put a lot of time and thought into this and money into, I mean, it always comes down to finances, right?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that's a
drag
lot
is
of
so
money.
expensive. And when you
It
do
is.
things like YouTube, editing, filming, and she wants to ask the question, but the bitch don't want to look.
Nah, thank you.
So why aren't
Next.
you investing in the own question that you asked, sweetheart? You see how they are? They want to dish the dish, but they want to get shady and get on the grinder afterwards.
We're on OnlyFans.
Oh my God, girl, are you on Grindr? What's your profile name?
My simple response is that, you know, YouTube is financially supportive for some that do YouTube, and for others it's not. And for me, I'm just trying to make money these days. Okay?
Girl, just do mukbang videos.
Girl,
You'll get so
find
many
me on
views.
Cameo. I'll give you a personal shout out. Okay?
Ow.
All right. Anyone
Look at all
sober
these
have a
hands.
question? Hi. Hi, what's your question?
This for Gia, real quickly.
Louder.
Oh, sorry. I watched your live stream a couple months back or whatever, and I mean, we don't see what's behind the scenes, but I heard you said a couple things about Ru not being there for you guys, and as you know, they just announced RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Now looking back and seeing some of what he's potentially doing, et cetera, does that change your perception of what you felt that he wasn't giving enough attention to All Stars? Does that change your perception, or do you still feel the same?
Absolutely not. After my experience on All Stars 4, which you guys can read in my book that will be coming out sometime next year. So without giving away too much, absolutely not. Actually, going to All Stars sealed the deal for me that, you know, I will probably never go back on that show ever again. And I'll be doing drag for as long as I need to. But I am definitely looking to dive into trans activism, advocating for the trans community, bringing visibility in any situation or area that I can, with still, of course, hanging on to drag. But, you know, drag has done so much for me as a person, emotionally and physically. It's obviously the reason that I am the proud trans woman that I am today. And, you know, in terms of RuPaul, she's created a platform, but I honestly just think we give too much credit to her. We queens, you people here, are the reasons why she has a job. And so I think it's really okay to give her the credit, but at the end of the day, it's us and our community that makes this whole thing goes around. And
I'm going to interject for just one moment, because
Okay.
I think that it's always important to hear everyone's like stories and points of view.
Absolutely.
And as valid as that is, one thing that I will say is that my experiences with Mama Ru have actually been nothing but like fulfilling and kind and supportive.
Well, she
has
likes
said-
you.
You know, and that's
She
nice.
likes
But
you.
the thing is like, you know, everyone has their different experiences. And I feel like what she has done for this community and the platform that like her, Randy, Fenton have like all created has been like just amazing. Because like, look at all the people that gather in this bar like right now to just like come and watch and like see all these queens that have been like, you know, launched into the stratosphere of these amazing careers, and we
I
get
thought
to
you guys
travel
were here
around
for
the
me
world.
and Shea.
They didn't come here for me. Oh, you really did? You weren't trying to get the tea on episode 2?
No, and I think that is all very truthful. But I think for me, as a trans individual, and after her comments, and after all that, very malicious talk on Twitter, I think my feelings were definitely a little bit rearranged versus some others.
Valid. That's
and
valid.
It's not personal; it's just drag.
True. Yes, Alyssa Edwards.
All right. Hi, what's your question?
My question's for Gia, just real quick, because I understand what you mean by your drag, the attitude that comes with it, I guess, because it's like, I'm that bitch or whatever, I give you that. But with the episode, it's like, any publicity is good publicity, so how much on the episode was it genuine when you were talking to Farrah, and how much of it were you probably milking, to be honest?
To be completely honest, I don't go on to a TV show calculated at all. That's actually why I think I make good TV, is because a lot of the moments that you see and the catchphrases and all that are very natural. Where some people go in there with, I'm going to do this at this point, and I'm going to say this at this time, and I'm going to wear this makeup with this jewelry and this hair. And girl, it's not all that serious to me. I think from seeing the episode, it was very, very true to the situation. And, of course, things were a little bit amped up, but I am never the one to pull the edit card. You know what I'm saying? I think when you go on Drag Race, you know that you are literally signing your rights away to be portrayed and edited in any kind of way that they want to. And so I really just went to, like I said, bring visibility to my community, as I feel the trans community has contributed to the art of drag since day one. And for some reason, I think due to mostly this show, the trans women and men have not been brought to the mainstream like the rest of the drag queens have. Yeah,
You're right.
I mean, yeah, we're not all cross-dressers for Christ, okay?
Praise him. Only
All right.
he.
Hi, what's your question?
So my question is actually for Miss Shea Couleé. I have been wondering, I feel like I speak on behalf of a lot of people in the bar that have been saying, we were waiting on you for All Stars 4. So I just want to know, what are you popping out in All Stars 5?
Ding! Available
yeah,
on
that's.
iTunes.
I guess when they decide that they want to start casting, if they, want to give me a call, that would be really, really cool. And if so, I may or may have not been just getting looks made just to have in my closet, just in case I go back on TV again. So, I don't know. I'm not a psychic. But, it would be really fun. I would really love it a lot to go back on there and do All Stars 5. Yeah.
That was the stoneriest way to answer. Oh, you know what? Life is what it is, and I'm out here if you want to put me on TV, life happens, bro.
Literally me smoking a joint on my way here.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your question?
So on All Stars 5, who are 3 people you'd like to compete with?
Ooh. Okay. Tammy Brown.
Yes, we love her.
Mariah Balenciaga.
Oh, yeah.
Her.
And who else would I want to see? I would want to see on there.
Kimchi.
Who? Oh my God, fucking Kimchi. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Let's just keep going. I would throw Trinity K. Bonet up in the mix.
Yes.
I would throw Miss Vanjie in there.
Yes.
I would toss in. Okay, so who's a good winner that we could just
choose
throw in?
one winner.
That's what I was just thinking.
If you just had to choose one
Tyra
winner.
Sanchez, bitch! Bitch, could you imagine? All the NDAs that would be broken if they brought her back onto that show. You guys wouldn't have to even go to Reddit. She would just go on live and spoil the entire season for everybody. It would be great.
You just don't want your DragCon booth burnt to the floor.
No. But you know what? I will shout out to Tyra because they brought security that year that she's making threats. And you know what? We should have had security all along.
Yes.
So thank you, Tyra Sanchez, for getting us security. Thank you. You guys don't care about our safety, obviously.
I just want to say, it is ridiculous that I walked in there with a full handle of Fireball and no one even asked to look through my bag that I did not need to have.
First time I went to DragCon, no one even scanned to see if I had a ticket. I literally just walked in the door.
Yes,
I was like, wow, who's running this joint?
Yeah. Nobody.
Thanks, World Wonder.
Hello, what's your question?
This is for Gia. How would you compare the difference between the Switch and RuPaul's when you were competing in Chile?
For those of you who don't know, will you explain what the Switch is? Yeah.
The Switch is a combination of The Voice meets Big Brother meets Drag Race. It aired in Santiago, Chile about 3 months ago. It's all in Spanish, 34 episode high horror drag show. And I was on it, so they haven't really caught on to America. But you can look it up. It's on YouTube. To answer your question, the Switch I thought was a competition. And when I got there were hair people, makeup people. We would do challenges, and the camera would cut, and they would step in and finish up the little challenge for us. So I said, oh, this is not a competition at all. And so I was actually a little bit discouraged when I saw that, because I went there to compete. I spent a lot of money to go there for girls to walk in discovery dresses. And I was, really trying to do the damn thing, but it was not a true competition. It was a reality show. And it's just a different method of doing reality TV. Nonetheless, it was a great experience. I got to compete and live in a different country, speak in a different language, do drag in another country. So I was honored, but I would never do it again.
Really quick. One other person I would want to compete against would be
here she goes.
Nicole Paige Brooks.
Hey!
Yes,
Wait, what about Nina Bonina Brown? Nina Bonina Brown?
Oh, me and Nina Bonina. That would be the time that they pick teams, where they do teams again.
Yeah.
And it would be like, Shabina Babina Boulay. I don't fuck that. I tried to rhyme in the spot, but it didn't work. But Nina Bonina Brown is cool.
All right. Hello, what is your question?
My question is for Shea. I think you were really gagged for Valentina, as we all were this episode. I want to know how has your feelings / friendship with her evolved from filming with her and watching the show, and then the time in between the reunion and all that.
Yeah, things were really intense our season, because I think one thing that we were not ready for were Valentina's fans. Valentina has a fandom unlike anything that we've ever seen in the show. And then being the girls that were on the season with her while it happened, we were just all damn, this shit is crazy. And I think that at the time, Valentina got swept up and she kind of distanced herself from us. And we were like, who is this girl? Because we had a lot of fun with her on the show. But I think after everything cooled down a little bit, Valentina has lightened up and allowed James to come through and shine a little bit more in her personality.
Is that?
Who is James?
That's Valentina's real name.
Oh, you took it there.
Yeah, I took her to the.
Oh, she's taking it to the biological.
Yeah, I came into that bio name, but she's
Okay.
really and you're seeing it a lot on the show. She's a really funny, goofy person, and I'm really enjoying getting the chance to watch her.
Still stuck in
again.
her fantasy, but
She
funny
she
and
still doesn't
goofy and a
leave the
diva.
fantasy. But at least we know that now, you know that she's a crazy bitch, and you accept her for it. The same way that we accept Alyssa Edwards for being a crazy fucking bitch who lives in her fantasy. Once you get it and can diagnose it, then you're like, great.
She's owning her divaness.
Yes.
All right.
First of all, Gia, you were cultural appropriate. So
Okay, did anybody else see that? Miss Carmen Carrera, girl, who is she? She tried to call me out on the Twitter, Miss Thing. We done forgot about you. You already shot yourself in the foot, baby. You don't got to come back and try to ride on my coattails. Another trans that thinks because we're, both trans that she can come for me on the social media. And I'm booked with her on New
Chicago's
Year's, boo.
so crazy.
I'm booked with her on New Year's, and I'm taking my bodyguard with me, okay? Because let me tell you, a real diva don't do the slapping. They just order the slapping.
How much does that go for these days?
Yeah, how much?
You know what? Very high penny.
Oh, okay.
But, I was very discouraged to see her coming for me, because I just literally felt like, girl, really, it's a fucking sweater. Like, and you're causing all this animosity, and we're supposed to be, you know, trans supporting trans. We're both, you know, in the activist light. So why are you trying to bring this up at such a, well, for her, she's thinking it's a very good time for her, right? Because we haven't really heard anything of her in a while. So what else, what better thing to do? Bitch, I texted her immediately. I said, baby, I'm just letting you know right now, you are the most opportunistic, fakest bitch. Thank you. Next.
It was expensive, but I wanted to ask you actually, what's your inspiration? Like, what led you to like Latin like culture to be like, oh my God, this is interesting?
Well, they call me La China Más Latina, available on iTunes. No, seriously. And, you know, I've actually spoken Spanish since I was 7 years old when I met my very best friend. I also was raised around Mexican culture. La Virgen de Guadalupe has actually been such an iconic and spiritual figure for me. I am not Catholic, but I do think there's a difference between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. And so for me, this was my way of giving a little bit of to a tribute to somebody who I think represents such a strong, powerful woman. And, you know, one day I aspire to have that same effect on the rest of the world as a powerful woman. And she is exactly that. And that's all. I just don't think, you know, these things, people take it so fucking seriously, girl. It's like, loosen the fuck up, you know? Maybe untuck yourself a little bit, you know? Just if you still have one to untuck.
Or eat a piece of bread and maybe you'll calm down a little
yeah,
bit.
you know? Take a hormone shot. Just take a T-blocker and calm the fuck down, you know? But does that answer your question, boo? Okay.
Yeah. How many languages do you speak?
I only speak 2, English and Spanish. But if you want to call me trilingual because you think I should speak Japanese, well, Nihongo wakarimashita, okay? But I only speak Spanish and English. I'm 4th generation, so my parents actually don't speak any Japanese. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to learn. I tried. And I said, okay, baby, I'm just sticking to Spanish because, baby, who the fuck is speaking Japanese anyway these days, you know? But yeah.
All right, what's your question?
Hey, Gia Gunn.
Hi. Oh, my God, Danny, from high school.
And I think we went to middle school together, too.
Did we?
Station Middle School.
Were you one of those straight boys that were bullying me in the fucking locker room?
So this
Tell
is
the
a true
truth.
story.
Tell the truth.
I might have hung out with the straight crowd, or like the cool kids, maybe. Gia, you'd know better than me, but I do want to say it's a pleasure seeing you right now, and it's been a really long time. And I recently saw a Facebook video where it showed your family, your background, and like it talked about your family being very supportive of like how you've always kind of been the feminine woman of you. And I remember you in class, Gia, as kind of being one of the girls, and maybe getting kicked out for being too loud. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
But
suspended 12 times because, bitch, my name's Gia Gunn. I had stuff to say.
But with all like respect possible, I remember you as Scotty Chikawa, and I'm wondering.
Oh well, if you did it, now you do.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering
That's not a thing.
Way to out the trans person in public,
we don't
Danny
do that anymore.
Frohmeyer. It's okay. I'm a social figure. You could Google anything.
I'm wondering though, like, is in terms of like your previous personality, like Scotty, as I remember you. And now being Gia, is there still some of like Scotty with you?
All right.
I need you to Google a few things, but long story short, for me, being transgender is a state of mind, not a state of being. So whether you have surgery, whether you're on hormones, whether you're wearing boys or women's clothing, Scott, Gia, whatever the fuck, honestly, I'm still the same person. I don't think anything other than a few physical things have changed for me, but you know, that's just people coming into their own, you know what I mean? And people learning who they are and accepting change within their life. And I think for a long time, I really neglected this side of me because I didn't know who I was. But to answer your question, I'm still very much the same person. I just am legally now Gia. And
He was like, did I do a bad thing? I was like, yeah, we don't really do that. But
no, I get the intentions.
Yes.
And honestly,
Yes.
Danny, the intentions
so
are
much.
stunning.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hi. Well, what's your question?
Hey, Shea, Gia, thanks for being here. Gia, congratulations on breaking the Roscoe's curse. Good job.
Wait, there's a curse?
Yeah, normally the queen that's here is the queen that got sent home in the last.
Oh,
Not normally, just 9 out of 10 times. Asshole. All right, keep it moving, Pay no attention, World of Wonder. All right, what was the question?
So, Gia, I loved your Kabuki performance, and I know that takes a lot of skill and a lot of training to do, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate that. Do you think people's lack of familiarity with Kabuki maybe like lost you some points last episode?
I think the judges definitely understood what I was doing. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to know talent. But I think, honestly, it just comes down to personal preference. Some people prefer wigs flying off and being brown cow stunning in a nightclub. And others prefer, actual talent. So I was actually really insulted because...
Take that to your cow and milk it.
Well... I mean, girl, I mean, let's be honest. All the girls that did their own lip singing to their own songs. I mean, girl, we've seen that. We see that nightly in the nightclub. I thought what I brought was a very theatrical performance. It took a lot of time and thought. Girl, I sewed some of the outfit myself, And this is a talent that I was naturally born with since the age of 5. So for me to go on there and to just be completely ignored, not even make it to the top, my feelings were extremely hurt. But again, I'm bringing visibility to Japanese culture, which I also think is super underrepresented in this world. And so, like 10 years ago, being organic and vegan was not a thing. Maybe 10 years from now, being Latina más Latina Japanese Kabuki dancer will.
Yeah. All right, what's your question?
I should do a pageant.
So, do you think this season... As queens of color, do you think this season we're going to break the curse of skinny white queens winning All-Stars?
No.
See, but the fact that you're asking that already is just a gook in itself. It's like, why does this even fucking matter? First of all, a winner, it should be a winner. Things should not be that fucking calculated to the point where we're even asking each other about race on a show that says everyone say love and that we're all born naked and the rest is drag until a certain point. I just can't with all that.
I know that we do make less money than our white counterparts, so maybe it matters a little bit. But I still don't think that that's gonna happen this season.
Do I think that they are conscious of that? Absolutely. Do I think they are trying to do a better job at covering their asses? Well, I'm a good example of that. Does that answer questions?
Oh, shit! That took me a minute!
Like I said, I just kind of prefer not to say anything, and I just prefer you guys to look out for my autobiography. Thank you.
All right, what's your question?
Little bit of a non-drag race question. I am a middle school teacher, and I'm always trying to tell my students to live with no shame and no apologies. If you were to walk into a middle school classroom, what advice would you give them?
Ooh.
I'm gonna let the stoner think about it. If I were to walk into, what age are they?
They're middle school, girl. They're like 12 to 14.
Baby, they old as hell.
They're like 12
to 14.
12 to like 14.
I would walk in and say, ladies and gents, and all the in-between, my name is Gia Gunn, and I do have something to say with actual substance. Sometimes boys are girls, and girls are boys. And sometimes, we can do things like drag and express who we are through an art form that is very inclusive of everybody. And sexual preference and gender identity has nothing to do with drag and I think it confuses a lot of people these days, right? And so that's another one of my, a big part of my mission is to really bring clarity to the world that doesn't understand that sexual orientation, who I go to sleep with and who I go to sleep as has nothing to do with anything other than when it comes to drag for a sake of conversation. I think a lot of people really confuse drag and, transvestite and cross-dresser and transgender and gender non-conforming and all the other 40-plus gender identities that we have nowadays. It really confuses people. So actually, I probably wouldn't say all that because that's fucking confusing. But, something along those lines. You get it, right? Okay, sickening.
Okay, so I thought about it. Okay. If I walked into a room full of middle schoolers, I'd be like, "Hey guys, what's good?" I'd be like,
you would dab.
So right now,
hello, fellow middle schoolers. Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm relatable. But for real, I would say I know this time is probably really intense and crazy and confusing because you're just getting over being an adolescent and you're going into just few years from adulthood. But one thing that I will say is though you're learning so many things right now about who you are and who you're gonna be, the one thing that you're never too young to learn is to be nice to people and to treat them with respect and to just
I would say that too.
Give everybody love.
You know what? I thought about it and I would say that too. I take it back. Fuck boys being girls and girls being... You know what? Be nice to one another. Fuck.
For real, because middle school, I feel there's just so many hormones. And you just do things. People do things that they can't really fully understand. Your brains are still developing, but I feel if you just encourage people to just try and be understanding and show empathy and be kind, that could be the difference between a little kid taking their life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I was just reading a story about a 9-year-old girl who committed suicide from bullying, and it was just so sad. So that would be the one thing that I would tell them is to just love each other and be supportive and just
feel your oats.
Be nice and feel your oats. Yeah. Life's too short to be a fucking asshole.
Exactly.
The irony is not lost on me. Hi, what's your question?
Hi, I have a question for Gia. I love your attitude about you're being there to have fun and everything. Online and in public forums, do you ever feel either pressure from yourself or from other people to represent your community as a trans person, as one person representing a whole community? And if so, how do you deal with that pressure?
110%. I have only been in transition now for 3 to 4 years. And my journey has been very extensive. I've learned a lot about myself, a lot about what drag means to me, a lot about, what I mean to my community and what my social figure actually really means. Once upon a time, it was about being fierce and being a queen and having everybody gag and, all that stuff. But now I think my mission is a lot different. And my mission is much more serious and has absolutely nothing to do with drag, to be completely honest with you guys. Drag is the reason that I am the trans woman that I am today. And now that I've gotten to this point, I feel like I can move on from drag. There's enough talented artists and, underestimated local queens and local talent that is not being given the light that they should. Why should I be taking that away from somebody that is literally doing so much? And, I love to perform in drag, but I would love to be public speaking to, thousands of people, sharing my message, using my voice for those that don't have one, also bringing light to, the fact that trans women can do drag and that drag is, an open thing. Do I feel the pressure? 110%. I felt the pressure going on this show, to be true to myself, but also, having to tiptoe around fucking RuPaul and all this bullshit. It's you guys laugh, but honestly, it's fucked up. And so for me, it's I went on there, like I said, for one reason only. Now that I even think about it, it's I didn't go on there for me. I went on there for my community and to hopefully be, the light for somebody else and to give someone else the faith and the hope that they too can be whoever they want. And now that I have, become much more complete with myself and whole with myself, my new journey and my new mission in life is to bring representation to all these trans men and women who have no light whatsoever in mainstream culture. And I do blame RuPaul. And I do blame shows that, have cisgender men playing the roles of trans women and trans people not being taken seriously. And, now that we are being taken a little bit more seriously, I really hope to be one of those people that fights for equality and fights for just human rights in general, because I don't even think it comes down to being gay or trans or bisexual. I think it comes down to us being us and us accepting each other as the humans that we are.
Ew.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're going to do a few more questions. Also, the girls are going to be performing at 11 and 12
Oh, we
tonight,
are?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I thought I was going to get a burger after this.
We
Maybe.
also...
There's time.
We also have a
There is
we also have a
There's
meet and greet
time.
at 10 o'clock, and you can get in line and buy passes to that. All right, we're going to do a few more. What is your question?
So yeah, my question is, how would you feel about eventually seeing drag queens and bio queens on the show?
Fuck yeah.
I love it.
Drag kings and bio
Oh,
queens.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it would be great to see, like,
Detox said no.
I
She's joking.
love, like, for instance, when I see, like, the lineup of the contestants and I see, like, Gia standing there, like, as a woman, like, in her truth, like, I love the way that that looks. And I'm watching the episodes being like, I want to see more trans women in there, and I want to see a trans man in there, and I want to see
Drag
a cis
kings.
woman that is, like, a fabulous drag queen in there, too, because, like, it's a colorful workroom. Like, let's, like, pull all the crayons out of the crayon
Yeah.
box and just, like, have fun, you know?
And there's more stories to tell.
Yes,
Exactly, yeah.
like, because you think, like, okay, for instance, like RuPaul's the judge on Skin Wars, and you think about all the, like, the different types of people that are, like, represented on that show. Like, I feel like drag is like that too, and I feel like the world is, like, ready to see all the different aspects of it. You know, it's just a matter of time, I feel.
All right, we're going to do a few more. What's your question?
If you guys were producing All Stars Season 5, who would you cast as the cast?
Who would you cast as the cast?
Absolutely nobody. Everybody trans.
There we go. Boom shakalaka.
And that's it. No, I mean, I think you answer this.
Oh, wow. Okay, so who do we have originally?
Shea-
We had myself, Trinity K. Bonet.
Eureka.
We had myself, Trinity K. Bonet. We had Nicole Page Brooks, Tammy Brown,
Dita Ritz.
Tyra Sanchez,
Dita
Ritz,
Kimchi.
Kimchi,
Miss Vanjie.
Miss Vanjie, and now we just need two more.
What
Who?
about Sonika?
Angina and Sonique.
Sonique.
Angina and Sonique.
Did y'all like
Actually,
her in
you
the
know what?
Christmas
No, let's keep
special?
Angina. She can hold on first. She can cool off for a moment. Sonique, look, I've been watching Fashion Photo Review, and she's not been doing it for me. So I'll say Sonique. And then last but not least, I would probably throw in there Jaden Dior Fierce. Yeah, because she's a
I
really
like
fun
those
girl.
options.
She's a fun girl, you know?
Now, let me tell you
Wait,
guys.
wait. What if Raven would come back?
Girl, Raven's not going to come back. She's
For
doing
a
Rue's-
third time?
Raven's doing her makeup, and Delta's doing her hair.
Right, she's getting that paycheck without having to put a wig
Yeah.
on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's doing Rue's makeup now. She's like, I'm not gonna come and
And you
compete
guys
with you hoes.
do know that some of the girls do actually get called and turn down the opportunity, yes? Yeah. So, you know, a lot of these girls, it's not even about us wanting them on. Some girls don't want to be on there.
Yeah.
Some girls, you know, don't want that opportunity either because they feel like they don't need it or just they don't want to go on that show. So
at that time.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Bitch, why am I thinking about? Wait, the Vixen. Hold on.
Cracker.
Okay.
Cameron.
Yeah, let's make it
Vixen.
14 girls. Let's make it
Just
14
bring
girls. It's
all
gonna be a long All Stars 5
132 of them
season.
hoes back. Just bring them all back.
Because you need some of those like double eliminations, so everyone can be like, you know, the drama. If they did a triple elimination, bitch, that would be the motherfucking gag, you know. So get some extra bitches in there to like account for that triple elimination moment. Yeah, it'd be fierce.
Well, what if it was a real competition?
That helps.
Good idea, but I don't think we're gonna take that one. Yeah, not this
The
year.
one that does the most pull-ups wins.
All right, what's your question?
This is for Gia. So I love you and I love your evolution into being yourself in this season. But what is your strategy in being the villain of the season? Like, why you discuss yourself as that.
We thought she was keeping it real, but I guess you're the villain now.
I honestly I didn't have any strategy. That's the thing. I really didn't go in there wanting to be anything. I just think I went in there and did what I did and said what I said, and I'm very unapologetic about it. And I hope that you guys are entertained, because it's a TV show.
Yeah.
It's a TV show about men that dress up in wigs, minus me. So go have it, you know? I think it's about fun. It's about, you know, for me, I just don't take drag that seriously. And that should be okay for most people, you know, because I'm living my best life. For me, life is more than drag, as I'm sure it is for you, for Tranik, and everybody else. And, you know, I love that the fans take it so seriously, but honestly, just loosen the fuck up a little bit, okay? It's like, it's not life or death. Some bitch gotta go home every single week, and at the end of the day, there's going to be that shady, pretty bitch, which is me. Oh, Farrah. Or, yes, Farrah. So give her that shit next week.
Do you think you would do more reality TV in the future outside of Drag Race?
What would be your favorite reality TV show to do one if you could do one?
Mama.
Oh my God.
Mine would be 90 Day Fiancé.
Well, I was thinking more like Bad Girls Club. Or like, you know, something really cunty and very cisgender. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Go in there and really fuck up their
Fuck it up,
perceptions.
bitch.
Yeah.
I would love to do more reality TV. So if there's any casting producers,
Oh my
please
God,
holler
do the
at me.
Real World. They're
Holler
casting
at me
for
in the
Chicago,
alley.
bitch.
Because that's where we stand, okay, in the alley.
Do Big Brothers UK.
That's canceled.
Girl, I don't even live in the UK.
It's canceled.
So is Bad Girls Club.
Oh.
Y'all casting for shows don't exist.
I'm sorry.
All right, hold up. We'll do one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up. Hi, what's your question?
Hi, my question is for Gia. What's something...
Wow, good last question.
What is something?
What is
Thank
something?
you so much.
What? Sorry. My question is, what are some things you miss about Chicago?
Oh.
Honestly, so I live in LA now. I've been there for 2 years. I live with Laganja Stranja.
Oh, wow. That's the reality show we're about
That's
to cast.
the reality show.
That's the show.
That is for real.
You know, speaking of my sister, she actually did turn down All Stars 4 and is kind of, you know, hanging up the lash a little bit. She's actually moving to Colorado in January and going to invest in marijuana because she, too, has had it with fucking drag, and it's done enough.
No, she's so good.
She is, baby, but if you
I
see
could
that
watch her
back
twirl for
and her
days.
medical bills, the bitch cannot fall on her back one more fucking time, okay? Well, that's what it really comes down to, you know?
Ouch.
Some of us get paid by being cunty, and some of us getting paid by falling on the floor. So one thing that I really miss of Chicago is just the realness. LA is very fake and very pretentious and very about what you got on and who you this and this. And so I kind of wish I had part of that realness still in my life. And of course, my family is here. My friends are here. Everybody that's known me since I grew up is here. And I love the food. I mean, the food is stunning. And from what I hear, the culture and, you know, the gay community here has really expanded now. And I think that is so amazing. That is not something that we have in other places around the world. And I would just love to get a little taste of that now as me being fully realized and kind of, you know, indulging into this new community that you guys have built, which I do think is super beautiful. And you should all be so proud to be from Chicago and keep it up. You know, I can't tell you guys enough. I don't know, Shea, you know, we travel the world and people always talk about
They do.
the drag community. They talk about
They talk about
Tranica and her
Chicago.
shows, and you know they talk about
Roscoe's.
just how, you know, respectful and you know gender specific, you know, the community has becoming, and so respectful of all these very innovative and very now type of things. And I do think that LA kind of lacks that a little bit. But mostly I miss this. I miss you guys. I miss my friends, and I don't miss the cold though.
It's rough.
All
It be
right.
like that.
All right, I think we're about good.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
was
do
sickening.
too.
A big thank you to Shea Couleé and Gia Gunn.
Thank you, everyone. I love you, Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to have meet and greet in the back. That starts at 10, so you have about 45 minutes to get ready for that. You can pay for that when you're in line. Also, performances are at 11 and 12. Next week, we will be back with Pheromone and Tatiana. All right, my name is T-Rex. Thank you guys for being here. Bee, ba, 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 bee.